Does your healthcare business deal with missed appointments, lost patients, or even poor retention? Well, if you set up these email campaigns, this can help. These are the 6 email campaigns that are really a must have for any multi location healthcare business. These campaigns are going to keep people coming in the door, making sure that the people who book an appointment actually show up, and then also offers a pathway for you to upsell customers and also generate new customers. So let's go ahead and dive into the 6 campaigns here. So the first one is indoctrination. The second one's going to be conversion, how we get people who book to actually show up. Third is going to be feedback of the people who show up. How do we get more reviews from the people who really liked our business and also collect valuable feedback from the people who didn't? A win back campaign in case somebody didn't show up. An ascension after they've already become a customer. How do we keep them coming back or graduating into higher levels of membership? As well as recall, have them constantly thinking about the good experience that you provided their business, making sure that they are kind of equipped with what they need to do in order to hit the next level, as well as just checking them in, or I guess rather, as well as checking in and just letting them know that you're there to help, right? And celebrating some of those wins. So let's start with indoctrination. So indoctrination is really what is being sent to a prospect before they become a customer. These are people who are unfamiliar with your business. They don't know that much about you. And so you want to share information with them in order to build up the trust and ultimately, take them from a lead into a paying customer. And so there's really, 6 main emails in this indoctrination phase. Obviously, depending on the type of healthcare business that you have, your emails might be a little different. But this is generally the flow which I like to send these emails. So the first, after they become a lead, maybe they filled out a form but didn't create a booking. You want to send a welcome email that also talks about who you are, why you exist. And then you want to kind of further that education with what do you believe, where are you in the world, and what are the sort of changes that you're trying to bring to this place through your business. And then you want to get into some of the personalized solutions that you offer. Why somebody should choose you, what you offer, what are some of the symptoms that somebody might be facing in order to receive one of these personalized solutions. Or, if you have like a form or a quiz and you get information about the user, then you want to, send tailored emails about what you've learned about the user and some of the solutions that you offer. Adding in testimonials is also really big. People trust other businesses that people have had good experiences from. I believe, people trust, close to 100% of the positive reviews that their friends give about places. But the crazy part is people also have a high degree in trust from complete online internet strangers. It's almost just as high as a friend recommending a place. I mean, think about Amazon. Like the first thing you do before you purchase an item is you look at the reviews. And if it has a lot of reviews and 5-star, then, I trust it. You probably do as well. Testimonials also help in this regard, where you're able to put people who look like, the person, or I guess rather, you're able to put people who look like the prospect in front of them and show how these people have had a good time or a good experience with your business. So testimonials definitely go a long way. It's kind of like a long form glowing review. And then in the next email, you want to just talk about the benefits that your program or healthcare company, offers, right? Like how do you help people reach the next level or where they want to go? So if this is in, HRT replacement, right? What are some of the benefits of testosterone or some of the other supplements that people can take? If this is in the dermatology space, right? This could be, what are some of the benefits of getting a dermatological test done, or anything like that, right? Or fertility, any of that. So you want to list out the benefits that somebody receives by going into one of your healthcare locations, simply just because somebody might not know all the benefits, right? Like if they just filled out a form, but they didn't book, then they only kind of believe that you're going to help them, right? A better action to show that they actually believe would be booking, but they're not there yet. So they might not know all the benefits that you offer. So it's good to share these benefits with the prospect and hopefully turn them into a lead or an actual booking. And once they have booked, the probably most important email campaign that you want to send out is this conversion campaign. It is going to be the email that takes people who have booked and get them to actually show up in the chair. This is probably the first email campaign that you should send, as it's going to be the most easy to see the ROI that you're getting from this campaign. And really, there should be two methodologies for how you should send this campaign. First is email, and then also text and SMS. And so when somebody books, the first email you want to send is something instant, right? Hey, I saw you booked. You can expect to get this treatment at this location, just kind of sharing all the information with the user that they just shared with you, right? And confirming the booking. People are going to really expect this email, and they're not even going to trust that the booking went through if they don't get it. So you want to send this email first. And then a few days before the appointment, you want to send out a what to know email, right? So this is like, okay, your appointment's coming up. Here are some of the things you need to know. Don't drink or eat anything 60 minutes before you come. Parking is over here. All of that sort of juicy information that's relevant for the user, so that way they can be properly prepared for your appointment. And then on, I guess, 2 days before the booking, you want to send a booking reminder. And you want to do this both through email and through text message, just saying, hey, this is a reminder for your appointment. Please message why if you're coming to confirm. You don't have to do that, but that is sometimes useful. But essentially, sending this booking reminder is definitely something that you're going to want to do, as it prevents people from forgetting about your appointment, right? Like, not all people who are not showing up are malicious or anything like that. In fact, probably hardly any of them are. Sometimes people just forget, right? So if you don't remind them, then they're not going to show up in the chair, and you're not going to be able to grow your customer base. One of the most important things to do with this booking reminder is add in a link to cancel or reschedule. So that way, if they don't want to come, it's really easy for them to cancel. And you, as the physician or the care provider, aren't expecting the person to show up when they know they're not, right? So giving them an easy way to cancel or reschedule is just going to drastically reduce the amount of empty seats that you have when you're expecting people. And then, this one's also obvious, right? But a day of booking reminder, this should be both through email and text message, basically saying the same thing, also sharing the address, answering any sort of major questions, and offering a way to cancel. So if they come through your funnel and then they become a customer and they actually show up, then you're going to want to send a feedback campaign after you treat them. And this would be, maybe a day or two after you send them NPS email, which is like, how likely are you to recommend us to a friend? NPS stands for Net Promoter Score. And it basically asks, how likely are you to recommend us to a friend? And if it's a 9 or a 10, that's a really positive review. If it's a 1 through a 5, that's a pretty negative review. And honestly, even a 6 through an 8 isn't really that great, right? The people who are going to recommend your business are really going to be giving you a net promoter score 9 of a 10, 9 or a 10. Anything less than that isn't good. So what you want to do here is if they give you a net promoter score of 9 or a 10, it's high here, you want to direct them to leave a review on a directory website. Maybe that's Google, right? So you have more Google reviews. Maybe that's Healthgrades. Maybe, that's even Yelp, whatever is kind of most appropriate for your business. And essentially, if they left a 9 or 10 net promoter score, they're likely going to leave you a very glowing review, right? And this is awesome because the more positive reviews you have, the more people trust you, the more people are going to book and come in. So essentially, you want to create this net promoter score cycle. However, if they leave anything less than a 9 or a 10, then you don't want them to leave a review, right? It's going to make your business look bad. Instead, you should be learning about what went wrong with that experience. And so you want to lead them to contact us form or, some sort of custom form to get more information as to why their experience wasn't a 10 out of 10. So that way you can make the appropriate adjustments. One thing to note about leaving reviews is it is much better to have a ton of reviews on a single site than it is to have, not as many reviews spread across many sites, right? So you'd rather be the number one healthcare provider on Healthgrades, right? Just have a ton of 5-star reviews, or, the number one healthcare provider on Google My Business, rather than, be number 5 on Google, My Healthgrades, Yelp, so on and so forth. So instead of kind of rotating where you direct people to leave a review, you want to become the best on a single directory. It's going to really blow up your business in a good way if you're able to become the number one provider on a directory. People just trust that stuff, and they're going to start coming out of the woodwork in order to come to your practice. Okay, so if somebody booked but they did not show up, then you want to put them in a win-back campaign. This is a pretty simple campaign, right? Like, hey, we miss you, sad face. I hope everything's okay. If you want to rebook, click this link and rebook. Make it easy for them. If they haven't rebooked 3 days later, then send them another email asking them to rebook and making sure that they still want to do business with you or come in. Do that 7 days and 28 days. You don't want to send this email too much because it's kind of annoying. But essentially, if somebody doesn't rebook, then just giving them a little nudge to rebook could bring them back in the door and really save them as a patient. Okay, so if somebody does come in, then you want to send them on the Ascension path. So the Ascension campaign is, the first email here is going to be kind of reviewing what they came in for and what they need to take note of. And the Ascension campaign is really just to get people to come back in or, maybe move to another membership if you're medical practice offers memberships or anything like that. Essentially, you want to ascend them to become, more of a trusted resource practice in their eyes, right? Or you want to ascend them to become kind of closer and tighter to your medical practice, right? So the email that I send here is, an email that reviews the client, I guess what the client came in for, right? You don't want to give any sort of like special information away, right? But if there's like a sort of standard treatment or standard thing that people come in for, then, send them this template email for the client visit review, right? Put in, hey, thank you for coming in. Here's what you came in to be treated for. If you have any sort of questions for XYZ, please reach out. Here are some resources that people who come in for this treatment find useful, and then list them out in that regard. The next sort of email is going to be to, I didn't actually mean to put this one in here. So the next one is going to be, some educational content for specific treatment, right? You have to be careful about violating HIPAA here, right? You don't want to violate anybody's privacy. But if you're able to, not violate HIPAA and give them, some sort of educational resources, maybe you're not a chiropractor, but I guess a physiologist, right? Or a physical trainer, right? And you send them some educational content on, hip mobility or something like that, right? So, some sort of educational content just to make them trust you more, make them, feel like you know them and what to do to treat them, as well as just kind of keeping your business top of mind. And then if you have, products at your healthcare location, you can cross-sell, upsell here. This could also be an area to get somebody to schedule another appointment. Essentially, you want them kind of more ingrained in your business, right? Some of the medical practices that we work with have prescription subscriptions. So this is where the cross-sell, upsell would come in. But if yours doesn't, then just get them to come back in and, maybe instead of like hip mobility, you get them to look at like back mobility or something like that, right? So there's a good opportunity to do that in this Ascension. And this Ascension campaign can go as long as you can possibly imagine, right? You should be adding in a bunch of information here, but these are the main points that you want to hit. And then also you want to include success stories, right? Here's, Matt, who had back pain, and now he's doing so much better with rock climbing because of, Dr. X, Y, and Z. Here's the rehab process that he went through. These sort of success stories go a long way because it allows the person receiving these emails to identify with the types of patients that your practice sees, or your dentist's office, or anything like that. And then the other email that I call the recall email is just to kind of keep your brand top of mind for the customer, right? Like, we're not trying to upsell them or bring them back into your practice or anything like that. We're just trying to keep your brand top of mind, right? So after they visit, send them, a welcome email, letting them know that they're a part of the family, sending them emails, talking about how to start strong with the treatment that they came in for, how to handle the sort of treatment path that you pushed them down or offered them, but essentially how to treat their pain, right? Like, what are some of the rehab things that they're going to be doing at home, or kind of without you. And then you want to offer a progress check-in, right? So, maybe 14 days later, just, hey, how are things going, right? Were you able to do these things that I sent in the Start Strong email? Just checking in, making sure that they're happy. This could be a point where they actually, reschedule with you. But these sort of check-ins are important. It lets them know that you care about them, right? And then also allows them to give you feedback in case things are not going well. The next piece is personalized health tips, right? So if they have a very specific thing, just offering some sort of lifestyle things to kind of help them overcome their issues, right? Maybe that's eating healthier, getting more exercise, doing some stretches or things like that. But some sort of personalized health tips in order to give them the treatment that they need, and kind of get back to succeeding at life without the ailment that they came to visit you for. And then you want to have a lot of milestone check-ins, right? Like, hey, we're 30 days past your visit. Congratulations on doing everything that you need to start strong. Really happy to have you as a customer. Is there anything else that we can help you with? And then you want to do that at 45 days, maybe this time you talk about a patient where they were at 45 days since treatment, and kind of create like this sort of highlight narrative of one of your successful patients. And you can keep going on. I mean, it's always good to stay top of mind. The bigger the relationship that you're able to facilitate with these emails, the longer they're going to stay a customer, right? And the higher retention is going to be. These email campaigns fall under a category called lifecycle marketing, which is also akin to retention marketing. So the more you can do to educate the customer, inspire the customer, make them feel like they're on the right path, the higher sort of appreciation that they're going to have for your business, and the more that they're going to want to recommend you, as well as continue to use you. So I hope this video is helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.